Namaskar Shabaike, welcome today at NTC 2025. So happy to meet my ex-colleagues Kavita, yes Kavita only, and the rest are newly joined. I'm also from NASSCOM, ex-NASSCOM. So happy to be here, meeting old friends, and trust me, সকাল থেকে এতবার এআই মানে আমাকে যদি কেউ গুলি করে না রক্ত বেরোবে না এআই বেরোবে আমার মনে হচ্ছে যা তো সকাল থেকে শুধু এআই বাট ইয়েস দ্যাটস হোয়াট the era is the era of intelligent progress but during this era of intelligent progress rooted in relevance business on local-o-nomics, local economics, right? That plays a very important role. And we all know when the global aspirations are happening from the local minds. And when we talk about innovation, trust me, the real innovation is happening from people who understand the roots, who understand the soil deeply. That's what I feel. Yes, if you are disconnected from our roots, what will happen? There will be fear. We can't scale. And since morning we have been knowing the Bharat story and India ready, digital ready, and tier 2, tier 3 are consumption powerhouses. So with me, you know, I've got three important candidates for the next election. Sorry guys, it's a bad joke. It's a very important panelist I have. You know, they might look serious, but they are all full of energy. Let's understand rooted in relevance and what local power how local power can transform the way we are living. I'll go straight, ladies first. So I'll go straight to Priyanka. And Priyanka is a CFO, you know, is a very important person in any organization's CFO, and but she has some experience in the microfinance. So I thought that she understands the root of our society. And what I'll ask, my first question will be, I'm very interested to know, and the audience will be must be interested to know that you have seen the microfinance companies, right? You have seen the woman-led micro enterprises, you know, the transformation they are bringing. If you can cite that insight, what transformation is happening in that local grassroots level, and of course, what are the challenges which you see, the gap in terms of being local as well as staying local as well as how to scale. You know, what are the challenges, what you have seen over the years, if you can share with the audience, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Aninda. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, he was right. After, you know, so many things on AI, I'm not sure if people would be interested in discussing about this topic. But yes, coming back to the point, when we talk about local-o-nomics, it's very important. Local-o-nomics, when we talk about it, we talk about how we maintain the essence of a local while expanding to be global. And women-led enterprises, especially in Eastern Bengal, I have seen that how this micro-led enterprises are growing and actually contributing to the local economy. Of course, there are various challenges every you know, industry has, but this industry has its own specific challenge, but it's growing. How it's growing? I will give you a few examples, like a household woman who is just making something to serve the community need now has expanded to a global commerce, a very organized commerce, and the platforms which they are using like the WhatsApp business, they are using Instagram shops, they are using this SHG, self-help groups, and very small, you know, B2B value chain they are using. And from, you know, an area which is absolutely local, they are growing. People are starting to know about a particular craft which was limited to a particular region. But because of this help of this IT, this, the era of digitization coming into the picture, this is helping. But again, it is bringing in the challenges. What are the challenges? Having an internet, does that mean I'm able to use all the apps, all the support which internet is providing me? This women, they belong to such grassroots level. They have their smartphones, but they don't know how to use each and every app which can actually scale their business. They don't know how to utilize a particular AI app, how to accounts what they are maintaining manually, how they can make it automated. All these things are not known. That's the challenge what they are facing. And that's where the role of the tech companies, along with the, of course, support of the state governments, we have to bring all of these into one platform to make things easier for them. For example, we can just bring in, one platform, one plug and play kind of a, a kind of a process, wherein all the things would be provided in one platform, right from their content creation, right from their advertisement on the websites, right from the various products which they can use for the marketing. All these can be provided, can be educated to them. But currently, these things are not happening. And as a result, whatever they are doing, their talent is not coming out fully. So I think going forward, with the support of various AI, of course, with the support of the governments, with the support of the tech companies, this is going to take a different turn, which has already started now, but it still has, lot way to go. And also, authenticity, what, Aninda clearly, was asking at the end, that how to stay, local, how to maintain the authenticity while, growing global. So I'll give a very small example that, see, any business to grow requires certain, say, production development, suppose the marketing development, the supply chain development, they would require a lot of logistics development. So accept that, adopt that, you grow in that line. But maintain the story, the essence, the history behind that particular product. If this is not the case, then say mulberry silk, say talk about the terracotta pieces of Bengal. They are simply irreplaceable. So we have to maintain the authenticity. So this is not a challenge, but of course it's a support. If we maintain the local essence, it's going to help us grow even globally. So that's why Darjeeling tea has its own flavor. Yeah, that's what is making it. Second is like, with the era of digitization coming in, people should not be scared. They should rather adopt it. They should be working towards their growth about that. Various apps they can use. A particular craft, which was just popular among a region, now with the help of social media, with the help of various AI apps, can go to any level. To globally, people would be knowing about it. And also one thing which can help, I think, grow in this industry is that one small enterprise cannot be scalable very quickly, but say 50 micro enterprises come together and they celebrate the particular essence, they celebrate the particular history, the story behind a particular region, then that will catch a lot of global presence. So I think this way we can stay local and grow global.
Great, great. জোরে হাততালি হয়ে যাক প্লিজ, সবাইকে বলছি জোরে হাততালি হয়ে যাক প্রিয়াঙ্কার জন্য। ওকে, আমরা সবাই জানি ওয়াও মোমোকে কে চেনে না, হাত তুলুন। কারা কারা চেনেন হাত তুলুন। ওয়াও মোমো। Barnik, your job is done, boss.
I shouldn't have won the badge then.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go to Barnik, and Barnik, quickly, what's cooking at Wow now?
What's cooking at Momo? Well, I've left it behind at the office, so I wouldn't be talking about what's happening at Momo, but we can talk about the subject at hand. So before I go into any of your questions or details, so we have two founders who started Momo in 2008, Binod and Sagar. Now Binod is a Nepali by heritage, but born and brought up and lived in Behala for all his life. And he was in charge with how the Momo should taste and how the sauce should taste. Had we let him free with how hot the sauce should be, none of y'all would be alive. because his level of hot was incredibly high. Now, the reason why I brought up this story is in the last 2 years, we we started selling in Dubai, our FMCG products. We had to tone down the level of hotness for the Dubai market. Now, had we not realized the importance of understanding what the microeconomics or what the cultural requirement is in Dubai, we would not have been able to survive. And it's about 50% lesser than India. Similarly, there are two parts to essentially why we say that understanding the local-nomics of a particular region is very important. There's the business side, and then there's the customer side. And there's the customer side, where the level of hotness would differ in different regions. Places like in south of India or maybe in Sri Lanka, people prefer rice bowls significantly more than northern regions. So the menu doesn't change, the recipe does not change, the level of inventory changes. So the consciousness or the awareness of doing that is very important. And the other very important bit is how the nature of business, essentially for something like Wow Momo, changes every 300 meters. The size of the store, the position of the store, what the store will be selling, and what kind of frontage we should be operating on. Whether it's going to be a delivery model, whether it's going to be a dine-in model, whether it's going to be a takeaway model, changes every 300 meters. Now, today we are sitting on, say, 750 stores that we've opened in India, and of which 420 of them have happened in the last 24 months. It would have been absolute nightmare if my guys actually had to open up these maps and figure out which lane the store needs to open up. We did buy the maps. I mean, we can't trust the digitization to that extent, but obviously technology helped that, helped achieve that. And I think, sorry, we were talking about AI. What AI has done is it's not helping us crunch this data quickly. It's not telling us you should open a store here or you shouldn't. What AI is doing is helping us put this data together quickly for us. It's helping us build those platforms which are very basic. Of I know what my sales are for these X stores, I know where Lenskart is, I know where where the medicine shops are, and from that we are able to easily understand what that particular economy is going to be able to deliver for us. So that's what we are doing with regard to local.
And for the operational efficiency part, how much of technology Wow Momo is leveraging, or do you think there's more to it?
So no. So for sure, technology is now at the center of how we drive the operations. I mean, there's no question about that. I think more than how much or to what extent we use technology, I think the interesting bit for Wow Momo was, should we buy or should we borrow? Whether technology was going to be part of the operations or whether it was how it's going to be run, that was not the question. But yeah, from the point of making a decision of how much stock should a particular store carry, and ours is a particularly challenging operation because our restaurants are lesser than, at an average of 400, 450 square feet, wherein you have the cooking area, storage, a little bit of customer entertainment area, so on and so forth. And we do approximately 120, 130 transactions each store. So the level of inventory that you're able to keep is very, very low. So inventory planning, stock movement, manpower planning, manpower management. You can imagine that we have these 750 stores and we have, let's say, 5 individuals working at each of these stores to be able to manage their payroll, attendance, integrity management, so on and so forth. Then, of course, going down to decision making, boardroom management, across the board. So yeah, a complete level of inventory.
And on a very, very lighter note, if Wow Momo had to name a dish,
Wow.
Inspired by golf, what would that be? By the way, he's a golfer, guys. He's a talented golfer. I've seen him playing, so that's the question. You think about it.
Thank you for being kind. I'd say bow.
That's a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause to Barnik Bardhan. Okay. Dr. Kamaleshwar Mukherjee, she was saying, Uro Chithi, Chader Pahar, Meghera Katara, Amazon Obhijan, and we were discussing on our kichu aro upcoming aschen. Firstly, I will ask Kamaleshwar that, and he's a doctor, and from journey of a doctor to a filmmaker come actor, how it started, and if you can share, Kamaleshwar.
Well, thank you. Thank you, NASCOM and the August audience. I don't prefer recollecting history. Actually, that makes you think that you are irrelevant today. The thing, it all started with theater while I was practicing medicine, and particularly in critical care units. So probably after that, I thought that I should tell something, I want to tell something, I need a media for that. So I chose theater first and then moved into cinema, film. Probably if I recollect and realize that what is that brought me to this media sector, probably I prefer living in unsafe zones. That's it.
Great. And we are living all in the era of OTT, right? And I personally believe that OTT cannot replace cinema. Your views, sir?
First of all, I should say that my first film was made on film, I mean celluloid. So that was the analog period. So I saw this transition from analog to digital. The thing is, with digital cinema coming in, I feel that, yeah, the speed of production has definitely increased. And definitely somebody who would have done 10 films are doing 30 films now. So quantity-wise, or from the perspective of ROI, definitely cinema has achieved a lot all over the world, not only in Bengal or in India, but all over the world. The numbers have increased. The question is, what about the quality? Because whenever we are referring to any good cinema, then we are definitely going back and reaching out for all old stuffs which are actually shot in analog. But after the advent of digital information technology, definitely things have sped up. Basically, it has speeded up because the amount of time, amount of labor that was going into handling those celluloids, they have decreased a lot. With the advent of AI, I should say, when artificial intelligence came, actually it's helping in filmmaking process in every department, like from the pre-production, when we are, doing the storyboard, or even writing the script or the screenplay and chalking out the production logistics and everything. And from there, while we are shooting, definitely it's with cameras, but those are right now charged with AI, with better data management. And then in the post-production, particularly edit and sound and music. And of course, in color correction, in the VFX, visual effects, AI is helping us a lot. Lots of platforms are there which are helping us. But there are two skepticisms from my part about this. One is when we are talking of this development of intelligence, we are all talking of the left brain activities. We are not talking about the right brain activities, which are not guided by logic, not guided by causal relations, not guided by mathematics, not guided by calculations, etc., even not by ROI. The right brain deals with all the emotional parts, all the creative impulses. You don't know, you can't explain the psychology of creativity. People have tried from since the age of Freud. They have never come to a conclusion. So what is the basic impetus of creating art, not only in cinema, but in theater and all kinds of art forms? The point is how the right brain is functioning and how this right brain is developing. Because let me remind you that we only use 30% of our, 13% of our brain power, all the neurons. So rest is yet to be activated. Now, with generations moving on, there are mutations going on, which are genetic mutations. You cannot just stop that. And there are recombinant genes, which are developing not only your brain, but all the organs of the body. So now there's a race between the artificial intelligence and the human intelligence in terms of the developmental mutation of the brain. I'm not pretty sure about what's going to happen. It's not predictable right now, at least for me. But I can say that yes, we will be using technology as it comes. And then the rest of the things, only time can tell. Regarding cinema and OTT, I would say that cinema is a different media. It's a director's media. OTT, basically, whatever are shown on OTT, and I'm working on OTT contents also, those are basically writers' media trying to tell a story. Cinema is not only trying to tell a story, but it emphasizes how to tell a story, and there are lots of modes to tell a story, and they differ subjectively from each filmmaker to each filmmaker. That's it.
Great. And how do you pick stories? And we have seen that some of the high budget movies happening from Bengal by you. And how do you convince the producers? And when there is a tendency nowadays that Bengali থাকলে আমি বড় মুভি বানাতে পারবো না, আমাকে মুম্বাই যেতে হবে, in that era, how you are convincing the producers, if you can share that part.
Actually, I'll extend Priyanka's words or Barnik's words. The more you go local, the more you go global. That is because the more you go for local nuances, and you excavate local nuances means Bengal. I mean, Bengal has lots of local nuances, we know that. Every language and every area has. So the more you connect with people, and people at the grassroots, that's very important, because even in terms of ROI, the more you can serve, the more you gain. So establishing connection with grassroots level people, that enables you a very big market. Okay, that is one thing. But at the same time, you need to learn a lot of things from the world films. Not only, I mean, the films in India, those which are not Bengali films, the other languages films, but also from the world, they are developing every day. Not only technologically, but also intellectually. So the more you talk about your nuances and learn from others, the more you get global. A classic example for an Indian artist who went global and who was very local, actually, who went dug deep to our grassroots, is Tagore. So he is the example we can follow.
Lovely. And I think we have just got 2 minutes. Any audience questions? Otherwise, we'll come to the end of the panel discussion. I think a couple of more sessions we have. We don't have time, 2 minutes. We are right on time to stop the session. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And it's so true that, the future lies in this soil, right? And in our talent, in our culture. And I think Kolkata, and I keep saying Kolkata is not just a city, it's more than a city, and everything is possible here. And we have live examples that how much of possibility is there in Kolkata. And local does not mean small, it means you're rooted, right? And I think jekhane shima shesh sekhane srishti shuru. And I'll end with one thing which I always keep saying, irrespective, AI or no AI, remember DI, Divine Intelligence. Joy Ma, thank you so much.